Good day, ladies and gentlemen. How's your day been? It's been quite a while on this channel. My name still remains Yahya Razak. You are welcome onto Educational Tips. Before we go into today's topic, I want to quickly inform you, my esteemed viewers and listeners, that very soon some other subjects will be introduced into this channel. So subjects like Yoruba, like mathematics, like government civics, and some other subjects like that. So please keep watching and keep your fingers crossed. Now, today we want to quickly we want to deviate a bit from what we have been looking at before. It's still the same thing about language, but then about English language, but I just want to make some clarifications about the difference between language and dialect. Language and dialect. Now, when we talk of language, it's a means of communication, medium of communication between people who share the same characteristics, the same symbols, the same words, and they have words in common that once one speaker say it to the other speaker, they will quickly understand. That is language. Now, for instance, we have many languages in Nigeria. One of them is the Yoruba language. We have Igbo language. We have Hausa language, Edo language, and so many Ijaw, TV, and so many other languages like that. So now these languages, they have ways by which different people that belong to that same stock, to that language stock, there are ways by which they speak the language that might be different from other people of that same language stock. Now, let me clarify what I'm trying to bring out. Now, let's take, for instance, the Yoruba language. Yoruba is a language spoken in Nigeria and some other parts of West Africa. But when you talk of Yoruba language has different ways by which people in different parts of Yoruba language speak the language. Just like when we talk of different varieties of food, we have different varieties of yam, different types of rice, different types of beans, and so on and so forth. So the same thing applies to languages. Even English language that we speak every day, that is our lingua franca, we still have varieties of English language. But let's come down to Nigeria. We are talking about Yoruba language. Yoruba is the language. Is the medium of communication that brings together people of the same Yoruba stock. But then when you move from one part of Yoruba land to another part, you begin to hear people saying this Yoruba language, speaking this Yoruba language in different ways. That is the varieties of Yoruba language, and that is what we mean by dialect. Dialect is still the same thing as that language, but then the way this language is spoken in different parts of Yoruba language is what brings about the dialect. In a situation where you are able to understand like 60 to 70% of what is being said in that language, that is dialect. It is not a new language on its own. Let's take for instance now, we have the Oyo dialect of Yoruba, we have the Egba, we have the Ondo, we have the Ijesha, and then we have some Okun, that is those people in those Yoruba speaking people in Kogi State. Now these are dialects of Yoruba, not different language. We cannot say Ijesha is a language. We cannot say Egba is a language. We cannot say Oyo is a language. These are dialects. These are varieties of Yoruba language. They are not distinct language. As long as an Ibadan man can understand what an Egba man is saying, he might not be able to say it or to speak it the way that Egba man might be saying it, but then at least he will understand like close to 80% of what the Egba man is speaking, and that is dialect. That is dialect. So it is not language. Because many people will believe that when you get to a particular place, we have many languages We have many languages in, let's say, in Oyo State. We have many languages in Osun. We have many languages in Ondo. Whereas what they are telling you or what they are talking about is dialect. Dialect is not the same. Dialect is a variety of a language. It's still that language. For instance, let's go to another part of Nigeria. Let's go to Edo State now. Edo is the language. Edo is the language that brings together the people of that state. That is why they call it Edo State. Edo is the language. But then we now have varieties of Edo language. There are different ways by which Edo language is being spoken. We have the Esa dialect of Edo language. We have the Bini. We have the Esako, the Afemai, the Ora, Onwa. We have the Akoko Edos too. These are people in Edo State, and they speak different dialects. If a Benin man is speaking to an Esa man, the Esa man will understand what he is saying, what the Benin man is saying. And same thing applies to when an Esa man is speaking to an Esako person. Esako person will understand what the Esa person, because they speak the same language, only that the way they speak it is different. That is the variety. It's just like when we talk of rice. Yeah, some people might like it white, we stew on it. Some people might like it jollof. Some people might like it fried rice. Some people might like it coconut rice, and so on. We are still talking about rice, but then we now have varieties by which each person would like his or her rice to be served. So that is what I just want to clarify to us this moment, that language is not the same thing as dialect. Dialect is part of a language. Dialect is just variety of a language. Once you can understand what that man is saying, let's say you have like knowledge of 60 to 70% of the words used by the other speaker, then it's a dialect, not a language. A language is completely different. It's just like when you talk of Yoruba man and an Igbo man now. That is when you talk of language. Even in Igbo land, you still have we still have various varieties of, Igbo language. The Nsukka dialect is there. The Owerri dialect is there. The Onitsha dialect is there. We have the Asaba. So many. So language is dynamic. Language is not static. Language is, language changes from one place to another. Even the English language that we speak, people that are familiar with England, they will tell you there is the way the British, the Scottish, the way they will speak English is different from the way the people in England will say it and the people in Wales will say it. And then they have this Cockney dialect and so on. Same thing applies when you go to the USA. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk of language, language is not the same thing as dialect. Dialect is part of a language, a variety of language. So we would like to stop here for today. So for more inquiries, for details, for questions, suggestions, you can call this number. It's also my WhatsApp number, 090-3301-3795. Once again, 090-3301-3795. Until we meet again on another interesting topic in this program, I still remains Yaya Razak. Please try to subscribe, comment, and share this video. Thank you, and God bless.